of videos that I like to share with you about the struggles that I have faced with being a mom, and maybe we can share with each other our struggles to help each other out. And I'd like to hear if you've had similar experiences as well. So, and then at the end of today's video, I'm going to give you 3 action steps that may be helpful for you in your mom journey. So, let me know where you're coming in from. I would love to say hi. And I do have notes so I can be sure to be able to tell you everything that I want to be able to say. So if you see me looking down, that's why. When I was preparing for this and wanting to talk about what I want to talk about, I was in our dining room and, writing things down. No, I wasn't writing things down because I remember going specifically into the office where my husband was. He's working remotely from home. How many of you, everyone's working from home? Let me know how that's going. And so, I went into the office to get a pen to jot something down, and he was watching a Zoom presentation given by his boss, Mr. David Beata. So on that slide presentation, there was one slide, because I'll back up. As I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about, I was really thinking about a lot of the struggles that I had as a child, and what I went through with my mom, which I'll get to in a moment. But on the computer, on his slide, it said, there was a slide that says, "Be who you needed when you were younger." And I was like, that just kind of hit me in the face, because I was like, that's what I was thinking about, and that's what I'm going to be talking about. So, growing up, and if you're a friend of mine, or if you're a close friend of mine, or a relative, you may know, and I've shared this before, about my mom and her mental health challenges, and how challenging that was for me and the family growing up. I remember as a kid, from an early age, just really having to, and watching her struggle with her mental health, and it was severe. It was very severe. So to the point where she suffered from paranoid schizophrenia as well as clinical depression. So, and with paranoid schizophrenia, she had audible hallucinations where she would communicate with voices that she had heard in her head. So it was, needless to say, it was very challenging growing up. And I know it was challenging for her too. That had to be really hard for her. So for a very long time, I kept all of this secret. I didn't want to talk about it. That the mental health and mental health stigma, that still exists today, I feel. There is a lot more talk in the media and talk about mental health, and I am so grateful for that. It really brings mental health to the forefront. But growing up, it was really something that I felt had to be kept secret. So I didn't really talk about it with anybody. I didn't know who knew about my mom. I didn't know. And so therefore, I didn't really talk a lot to many people about it until later in life, when I realized that I wasn't necessarily the only one. And I only realized that because someone shared about their mother's experience with their declining mental health. And then I realized, you know what? I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one with a mom that has mental health issues. And therefore, if I am able to share this with people, then if they feel alone and I share it, maybe they won't feel so alone as well. So that's really my whole point in trying to use my voice in talking about mental health, and how it has affected me and how it affected my mom. So I'm looking at my notes. So needless to say, times were very chaotic growing up. like I said, she heard audible hallucinations and would communicate with them. And I had to get out of the house. So that's actually how I fell upon running. I don't know how, when the first time I went out running to escape the chaos of the home, but I somehow got my running shoes on and then I went running. And then I realized, you know what, running is a good source of comfort for me. It brings me peace. It brings me good health. And it just makes me feel happy in a world where I wasn't feeling so happy. So, so that this is hard to share. I'm going to be open about that. So, she did have a couple attempts on her own life. She in which she was she took her own life in 1996. I was in college, and because there was that mental health stigma that I was feeling that I couldn't share with anybody, my roommate and my friends, I didn't even tell them how she had passed away. I just said, I gotta leave. My mom died of a fatal heart attack. So, and it took me a very long time to really talk about how she really died. So, but like I said, I want to be able to share it with people, and so that, perhaps, this could be helpful to somebody. But what I really want to get to is that, I went on to become a physical therapist. I then went on to, have our 2 children, but I was scared. I was scared as a mom, and tell me too, if you were scared to become a mom. I know it was scary for me for 2 reasons in particular. One, because I was concerned about the hereditary aspect of my mother's mental illness. So I was really concerned that my children would, inherit this. So at one point in my early adulthood and my late teenage years and early adulthood, I was scared that I was going to become have mental health challenges to the point that my mother did. So it was very nerve-wracking to think that maybe my kids would inherit that. And then number 2, another reason why I was nervous to have children was I wasn't necessarily felt confident in my mothering abilities, because, like in the quote that I had quoted, be who you needed when you were younger, I didn't have necessarily that, anyone to talk to about my problems, to show me what it was like to be a mom. I know my mom tried her hardest. She really did. She really tried hard. She did the best that she could within her means, but she was a different kind of mom. So, so let's see. So, I love now that I have my kids, I have, I want to be able to show them good health. So, and I want them to be able to live a different path than I have lived. I want them, and doesn't every mom want that for their kids? Don't they? Let me know if you as a mom want something different for your children than you had when you were younger. I know that I want that for my kids. And so I do my very best to be able to be an example for them in exercising and trying to give them strategies in coping strategies to be able to help them with their mental health as well. And I hope I am doing that. So, but one story I want to really talk about is, and where this really came to the forefront for me, and I'll get into a little bit right now, and I might not give it all away, but it was a few years ago during my nephew's first communion, and we were all sitting in the church, and I remember it was me sitting. I was sitting here. Then it was my younger son to the left of me, and then my brother-in-law on the other side of my younger son. So we're sitting in the church and we're watching the ceremony, and my son, he had his feet on the kneeler. Okay. And now he may have tapped the kneeler. I know that if I saw him tapping, right, tap, 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 that I would put a stop to that right away. But this woman, if you can call her that, I'm reminded of the movie Exorcist. This person turns around, and she was an old woman. She turns around and she looks at him with these evil eyes, and she was like, "Stop kicking my chair," or whatever, or something like that. And to the point where I was horrified. Not only was I horrified, my brother-in-law was horrified, and my son was horrified. And it was at that moment when I looked at my son and how he reacted, where I felt like I had not been good enough of a mom for my son. And I'll leave it at that. I'm going to talk more about this tomorrow. So join me tomorrow we're going to do this a little earlier tomorrow. I think we're going to do this at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. But come back and I'll tell you the rest of that story. But it was really one turning point for me as a mom, in realizing what I need to do as a mom, and then realizing the struggles it is to be a mom. So, tell me down below if you've ever struggled, or, maybe one struggle that you've struggled with as a mom, and then, or something that was unexpected. There are many things, and tomorrow I'll talk about the unexpected aspect of all this that I didn't realize would be something that I would face as a mom. So that's number one comment down below, something unexpected as a mom that you had experienced, if you want to share, or you can message me and let me know. And number two, for all the running moms out there, and even if you're a mom who wants to run, I actually have had a group, but I'm going in a different direction with my health and wellness group. It's a Facebook private group for running moms currently, and I would love to have you join if you want to be able to, share and have community with other running moms such as myself. So we would love to have you in the group. I will post the group link down below. And then tomorrow I'll see you back here at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to tell you the rest of that story and how it impacted me as a mom. So I hope this was helpful for you, and I will talk to you guys later. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.